Then let me introduce the next two speakers together, because both presentations will concern the role of teachers in media education of young kids. And I think they will address the question touched upon by the previous speaker: why so many parents go for extreme options, either cut off their children from the internet or by letting children use the internet as they will. So this presentation comes from Dr. Veronika Samara, who has a PhD in information science and has for years coordinated the Greek Safer Internet Center, followed by Thomas Hepser, advisor at the Norwegian Media Institution, a psychologist and an advisor to the SAP project, which promotes safe internet use in Norway. Veronika, the floor is yours.
Dzień dobry. I hope this is good morning in Polish. So good morning, everybody. It's really a pleasure and an honor to be here today. I really would like to thank my Polish and German colleagues, friends, that they offered me this opportunity to be with you here. My presentation is called The Parents' Responsibility in Their Kids' Media Education, and actually it's mostly how the parents can help their kids to become literate also in life and to get critical thinking. The kids of today, we're speaking, I think this is an image that is worth more than 1,000 words. This is what I learned back in university. A picture can really worth more than 1,000 words. Look what this girl is doing, or not doing anymore. She's completely lost. Game console, TV control, you see phone, you see a keyboard, a PC mouse, a mobile phone. We heard a couple of minutes ago from the former speaker, 40 hours per day. Yeah, I can believe this, seeing this picture. This is really multitasking. I cannot do this. I think most of us cannot do this, really doing all this in one, and still be able to listen sometimes. So we all know that the internet is a paradise. It's really a paradise for information, entertainment, education, work and business, opportunities and threats. And the democracy of the internet allows everybody to be out there. And this is fantastic, actually. But we have the good ones on the internet and the not so good ones on the internet. And like in every democracy, there are rules. Actually, also on the internet, there are rules. If we follow them, all of us, then the internet would be a fantastic place, because we are the internet. So we adults have learned, hopefully, and have the life experience to recognize and to avoid risks. But what about minors? The final report of the EU Kids Online Network came out in June 2009, and is telling us that we have to face 5 major risks with our minors. Rank 1 is personal information, they give too much, seeing pornography online, violent or harmful content, being bullied, and meeting an online contact offline. What does this mean? Let's have a closer look. Personal information. Half of online teenagers in Europe disclose too much. It's really impressive how easily they upload their personal information and their photos online without suspecting the risks they get exposed to. This is what the teacher told us just a few weeks ago. Seeing pornography online, 4 in 10 teenagers across Europe. These pictures could have harmful effects, especially for children who are younger than us, such things may influence them badly. These are words from a girl between 12 and 14 years old from the qualitative Eurobarometer survey conducted 2 years ago. Violent or hateful content. 1/3 of teenagers across Europe have to face this. They just come across. I was shocked by violent videos, short videos from Iran or Iraq, people who got their heads cut off. A boy between 12 and 14. You find information telling things about black people that are untrue. I think it's not a good thing to discriminate people because of the color of their skin. A girl, 12 to 14 years old. Being bullied. 1 out of 11 teenagers in Europe and in your country is 1 out of 5. 20%. This is immense. I did bullying in the past until I experienced it myself. Now I no longer do it. And unfortunately, research is telling us that most of the time, the victims become predators or the other way around. According to Eurobarometer 2008, very recent, 1 out of 2 of the European parents are worried that their kids may be bullied online. And meeting an online contact offline. Even if we have only 1 out of 5 teenagers, this is the most risky part. I met him at the station, and then it was an old, nasty, 44-year-old man. I walked away. I have never told my parents about it. A boy, 12 to 14 years old. I would expect a girl to say this, but it's a boy. And then we have the social networks, this new phenomenon. I checked a week ago the statistics of Facebook, just to discuss them with you today. So what did they say? More than 300 million active users. Average user has 130 friends. My God, I'm happy I have 3 friends back home. I feel really lucky. More than 2 billion photos uploaded to the site each month. More than 14 million videos uploaded each month. They have many zeros, okay? Many zeros. More than 1 million developers and entrepreneurs from more than 180 countries. Why is Facebook and all the other social networks free? They must make their money from somewhere, from us, from our personal information. And more than 180 mobile operators in 60 countries engaging already to promote Facebook mobile products. Of course, the statistics are far more. But let's see a little bit these 130 friends. From ENISA, we have the following study and also saying, ENISA is European Network for Information Security Agency, is in Crete at the moment, located in Greece. Social and commercial pressure to get as many friends as possible means there is often a tendency to accept friend requests without checking their authenticity or suitability. So we have here an experiment conducted by the antivirus company Sophos. They created a profile page from Freddy Stour, an anagram from ID fraudster, from fraud, a green plastic frog with only minimal personal information in his profile. And then this froggy sent 200 friend requests to see how many people would respond and how much personal information could be gleaned from the respondents. The findings. 87 of the 200 Facebook users responded to Freddy with 82 leaking personal information. They didn't even have a look at who is this? Friend request? Yes, we accept. So easy. 72% of respondents divulged 1 or more email addresses. 84% of respondents listed their full date of birth. 87% provided details about their education or workplace, so we have also adults. 78% of respondents listed their current address or location. Great. So you can also be physically located. 23% listed the current phone number, and 26% provided their instant messaging screen name. In the majority of cases, Freddie was able to gain access to respondents' photos of family and friends, information about likes, dislikes. This is fantastic for advertising, as you may guess. Hobbies and other personal facts. So where is the issue of personal information, privacy? How about bullying and meeting strangers when we give this much information online? It's like inviting this risk in our home. Last but not least, we have to deal with internet addiction. What is this new thing? My friends were congratulating me for having such a behaving kid staying home playing with his computer. I was so happy I had succeeded so well. No shouting, no quarrels, no no's. Until I started to feel that something was wrong, that my child was spending more and more time in front of the screen, wasn't having any friends, wasn't playing ball, wasn't having a girlfriend, wasn't caring about school or his exams. Then I understood that my kid had a serious problem. 40-year-old mother of a 15-year-old son, treated in the helpline in Greece. The fellow medical doctors, our helpline doctors, say that when a child sits for hours quietly in his room in front of his computer, parents should not feel happy and relieved, but they should worry. What does the kid do? With whom does the kid communicate? We all know that adolescents are curious, they want to experiment, they lack objective critical thinking, they are not mature yet, they are risky in their behavior, and they doubt parental authority. Many, many years ago, Plato, in his work Politia, wrote the following: "The son feels equal to the father. He doesn't respect his parents at all. The only thing he wants is to be free. The pupils insult their teachers, and above all this, in the name of freedom and equity, sex is everywhere." Well, it hasn't changed that much since then, hasn't it? So, what can we do? Plato had the same problem before Christ. Knowledge is power, and for the internet, illiteracy is really not having the possibility to help, and its weakness. Dr. Kormas from our helpline, medical doctor, the biggest problem from a timely diagnosis is a digital illiteracy and ignorance of parents and teachers who cannot identify the problem. They just can't see it. Nobody teaches the kids how to use the internet with safety, and there are no limits in internet use. The internet is the new nanny. Girl, treated at the helpline, an adolescent girl. No kid is to blame for something he does to himself. There are always reasons, but if the kids get the help they need, they get more responsible and can control the way they want to live. So treating children with internet problems is very difficult. Believe me, I've seen this in the helpline. It's extremely difficult. But prevention is very easy as long as there is proper awareness and education in place. So education and awareness are acknowledged by all experts as the most important factors in increasing the ability to protect ourselves and our kids online. Parents obviously have the key and the proactive role to play in this respect as primary educators of their children. And besides, 9 out of 10 children who are internet users access it from home, whether from the family or from their own computer, as a Eurobarometer survey says. Parents accept that they are responsible for their kids' safety, be it in the real world or in online worlds, but are they aware of the need to help their kids during their online activities? Again, research tells us that if parents are themselves internet users, not heavy users, internet users, they better and more mediate their kids' use of the internet. The use of new technologies has to become a family affair. And it is important to understand, it's very important to understand, that the problems we are talking, even on this conference, existed before the medium. Pornography, child pornography, racism, hate, everything was out there. Only the medium has changed. This is what happened, nothing else. So the basic principle actually is etiquette, network etiquette, like we use in our physical life, etiquette. Don't do things to others online that others shouldn't do to you online or in the real world. Parents don't need to be hackers to teach their kids internet safety. Let's see in the physical world. They don't need to have a driving license to teach their kid how to cross the road safely. They have a critical thinking. They think. They don't need to be electricians to know that electricity can kill if not used with caution. We heard already the power of the internet as an electricity example. We take the airplane and come here, but still we hear that an airplane crashed. We still take the plane. Laser. The laser can make miracles in medicine, can also kill. We still use the laser. So it's always the hand who is using the tool, not the tool to blame. The key, communication and mutual trust, understanding, explaining, and never forbidding on the internet. The kid will go somewhere else, will find it somewhere else. Promoting critical thinking, find sexy alternatives for the kids' free time, something they like. And setting rules and limits and respecting the rules and limits, not like this parent. Why should I listen to my mother? She tells me that she would not buy me a mobile phone so that I wouldn't talk on it all the time. And all she does is talk on the mobile phone. So we set rules and we don't respect them as a parent. Why should the kid respect? The younger the kids learn to obey rules and understand their limits, the easier will they respect them when they grow older. Concerning internet addiction, it's unfortunately a trend, I'll say it, a trend that affects all of us. The symptoms that we hear are school failure, sleeping disorders, depression, low self-esteem, suicidal ideation, decreased physical activities, low quality of life, no friends, no communication anymore in the real world. Physical symptoms. The parents can easily recognize a change in their kids' daily life and behavior. They can easily recognize these symptoms and can fast act. Before closing, I would like to share with you two small stories from discussion we had with parents back in Greece, which I believe are both smart strategies and good practices in dealing with internet issues. You're in Facebook. So am I. Let's be friends. The 13-year-old boy of a parent I was talking to recently told his father that he opened a profile in Facebook. So the father replied, "Great. I will also open my profile so we can become friends and wander around together in Facebook." What did the boy do? The next day, he closed his profile. He couldn't just imagine his father being in the same space he would be, seeing, reading all his messages and postings to his friends, and of course, he couldn't deny his father to become his friend. So it's one way of doing things. And another story about searching for information. A few years ago, at a press conference we had, a reporter told me the following story. One day, his 9-year-old son had a homework to write an essay about the city of Paris. And he was advised by the teachers to search also on the internet. Well, this is the boy, what he did. He opened his usual search engine, wrote the term Paris, and waited for the results. So while the parent was somewhere in the house, he hears a loud screaming and his boy shouting, "Daddy, come quickly. There is a woman with these big tits on the screen." On the screen, there was a very nice photo of Paris Hilton. What did the parent do? He sat next to his child, smiled, and said, "Oh, let's have a look. She doesn't look so beautiful, does she? And the tits are not so nice either." So by talking, at the end, the boy himself said, "Well, yeah, these kind of pictures are not so nice, really. Why are we sitting and discussing this? Let's really go to see something about the city of Paris." So the parent checked first how he got to this result. Then he showed his boy to make a targeted search in order to get the results he wanted, so only the ones that deal with the city of Paris. And the boy understood that the parent can always be consulted in such kind of funny situation and not be afraid that the plug would come out and the screen would go black. I'm finishing with a very nice caricature we received 2 years ago at Safer Internet Day 2007 from a cooperation of a high school, Greek high school of Vilia, and a French school, Lycée Antoine, 3 sheep in paradise. The left says, "I got lost in the woods." The elder one says, "I died of old age." And the youngest one says, "Well, I gave my home address to a wolf while chatting." Thank you very much.